Hey guys, what it is yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping. Because you got to hold your breath for justice. To see justice before our face to bleed. Hiss your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I'm coming through on the tail end of September the 29th, 2025. Girl, I am working on. Remember, I told y'all about the little ADHD thing that I'm overcoming because I've been telling you my testimonies. So, anxiousness is trying to set in because of deadline things that are tomorrow. So, I'm procrastinating by doing videos. And I'm also praying that I don't like for God to take that anxiousness away, because I will worry about this stuff like all night long. So I pray and I try to let it go, girl, like for real, and just go on to sleep, go on to bed. Because whether I set up all night worrying about it or not, because I have to make a decision tomorrow, girl, it ain't gonna change nothing. So I'm gonna chill out. The kids want to do family night. So as they, we watching a movie, I want to retwist my locks. I'm gonna worry about all that instead of sitting up here worrying about problems. Because if you don't know how to compartmentalize stuff and keep it in that side of your life and that side of your brain, and then have your family side, don't let things creep in, then you would just be anxious and overwhelmed all the time. Anyway, today was National Coffee Day. We went out vlogging today, family day. I got a free coffee and donut from Krispy Kreme. Starbucks had something where you had to buy, something, and you would get extra points. So we passed that one right on by. And then Circle K got another coffee. So I got coffee for the morning, coffee for tonight. So I'm going to stay up. I hate to go on to bed on my off days, because once you go to bed, it's pretty much work day. Because once you wake up, work is right there. So I try to milk all I can out of my off days. So anyways, before I got on the road, I told you I was coming to tell a little story time, and then ended up telling another story time. So y'all could check that one out. I'll link that in the description if I ever get to it, girl. But I'm trying to get better about that. But like I said earlier, I wanted to tell you a different story time, a different testimony about how God just kept me. So it's so crazy. Like I tell you before, I just thought I was cursed, because some of the worst things that I don't see happening to other folks, some crazy ass things happen to me, but some great, marvelous things that don't happen to folks happen to me as well. But on the average, it was more so lots of crazy, like, where did that come from, things that just happened to me. Like being a prison wife. Who in the jail is a prison wife? Well, now I know, because of the age of internet, that there are many prison wives, because this system affects many of us. Oh, my phone going dead. So I'm sorry. My phone is unaliving itself. Sorry, YouTube. So I may not be able to finish the whole story. So let's just get into it and go as far as we can with it. But let me see if no, because that slow charges. Well, anyways, let's cut to the chase. God kept me. But before, I thought I was just cursed, because the worst of the worst would happen to me. It was almost like Everybody Hates Chris. That character, he was me. Chris was me. I try to do good, I get bad. You hope for the best, you get the worst. You're always in trouble, but you're not even really doing anything. It's just, But So at 40, I screamed out to the Lord. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, I broke down. And I was to a point where I can't do it. Lord, if you don't do this, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I didn't realize that is technically surrendering. That is surrendering. I guess I didn't get the concept because we say we surrendered all to God, but we're still toiling with the things, still trying to figure it out, still. And I would get kind of confused with faith without works. Like literally, I'm not going to tell y'all no stories because what is the thin line? What's the threshold that you cross where you're supposed to be doing something, right? But where does the line cut off that where you're doing too much and you're supposed to be letting it be in God's hands? Like, at what point? Because it's really confusing because if you're supposed to put works behind it, then you have to be doing something. But then if you do too much, you're taking it into your own hands. So that concept always, I quite don't have a full grasp on it. But someone explained to me that it's where you do the actions you have to take, but when you have done all you can do, you have to just know that you can't do any more and know that God is going to work it out. So at that point, I was technically, I guess, surrendering. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, I literally cannot do this. If you don't do, because I've been praying from day one, and it just felt like I was always making the wrong decision because the wrong outcome would always come. But everything actually ends up working out for our good. And even when you think you're not being led, you're being led. You're actually, you know, I don't know, maybe you took an alternate path. Maybe I took alternate paths my whole life. But somehow it seems like I still was supposed to go down that path. And going down that path, God kept me. And I can see that it was nobody but God that kept me. So today I do have another story time. 2 times I missed drive Be Wise by that much. Girl, I skipped the story time because I told y'all the story time of how me and my daughter got our first apartment and we finally felt like a family or whatever. I didn't tell the story time about right after, but I got the old version that I could link here where I got so comfortable in my own apartment, not knowing that as a single mother and a single woman, everyone around me was watching me, right? And they knew my work schedule. They knew I worked overnight. They knew certain things. And then they busted my apartment. And because I have that already recorded, I'm not going to tell you that story, but it really shattered my safety net. And I felt from that time, it traumatized me and I did not no longer want to live alone. And for years, so that happened in 2010 to 2020. So that's 10 years. 2020 was the next time that I really tried to have my own apartment with my daughter. At that time, my daughter was just graduating high school and about to go into college. So we had got a new apartment, the height of the shutdown, in an area that we thought was so nice. This is the area that has the biggest, most expensive mall here in Orlando. They have the Mercedes-Benz car lots. They have all the upper end things. So when we got an apartment on that side of town, it was like, wow, like we living over here. So we thinking we were in the best of the best neighborhood. Now, most times from the outward perspective, you think a neighborhood is better than it is until you start living there. That's when you're like, ugh. And in Orlando, I don't know about other places, they charge you top dollar when stuff is not even worth $2. They charge you top dollar. I mean, the whole my daughter was so excited, and she kind of bougie. Oh, I'm just gonna tell y'all because it's me and you here right now. But money is bougie. She's bougie on my budget. Like, girl, like I raised you, girl. Like you 20. No, I'm sorry, you're 25. I done did that mean I done did 7 more years than I had to, girl. But yeah, money a little bougie. But I guess it's because I spoilt her. I will confess to that because her dad was gone, imprisoned wrongfully, and I always tried to patch that hole with doing things and expensive things, and I guess that's me. I'm sorry. So, anyways, back to the story. She was so excited about moving to this side of town. Now, money is color coordinated. She loves to interior decorate. And at that time, her theme was red. When she got her own apartment, her theme was pink. Everything pink, 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 pink. But it was really cute. So she picked out the furniture. At that time, she was in college, so she was getting them reimbursement checks. So she bought her own furniture for the house. She's like, yeah, Ma, you could live here, but this my house. Like, basically. I'm like, girl, please. But, I have to put my name on the lease and all of that stuff because she just coming out of high school and didn't really have no credit or nothing like that. But she was like, technically it's mine, though it's yours. Yours too. And so it was so nice because I was finally getting over that fear of living alone in an apartment. My daughter's older now because when they broke in on us, my daughter was a little girl. So now my daughter is a grown woman. So now it's technically like two grown women living together. And then she had a friend that was always hanging out. So it was like three of us. So it wasn't, just me as the adult and the protector being scared out their mind every second. I literally used to stack boxes and bins against my front door because I thought every moment someone is bussing in my door. Like, it really does traumatize you when someone breaks into your apartment. So this is a new start. Like, it's decorated. We're cooking together, and it was 2020, so we all were spending a lot of time in this apartment because you really couldn't do nothing. The only thing I could do is go walking, and that's how I ended up back on YouTube. And the highlight of my day was going to Wawa to get some crushed ice till they shut that down, and then I found out Publix had the crushed ice. And that would be my daily walking and listening to my favorite YouTube creators, creating my own videos and editing all day. So that was the time frame we were in. Okay. Soon after, my daughter thought she was grown, girl. That thing stayed out all night. It was morning. It was morning. My mama did not play that. My mama put the alarm on me. And whatever time I came in, she'd be like, Keita, you came in. It was 11 o'clock. Keita, you came in last night. It was 12:30. Keita, like literally the only way I used to be able to go out, I used to have to tell my mama I was working a double. So I could go out to the club and then go to, I worked at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I would say I'm doing a double so then I could be out all night, right? But my daughter, she just thought she was big and bold coming in when she wanted to. Girl, I know you think you grown. I know they tell you grown, but girl, you in my house. And if you can't come in at a decent time, don't come back. She didn't come back. That's a whole nother story time. She didn't come back. So she kind of left the apartment, and then I was back to trying to figure out living alone again, floating back and forth from my parents' house because, I still take care of my sister. So I always had to try to figure out maintaining over at that household and still maintaining my household. So at that time, I just started spending a little bit more time over there than in my own place. But the place was close to my job. So I did spend a lot of time there. I would come home after work, crash there, and then be gone. And then I'll have to head over to the house to check on my sister and make sure she's good, and then come back to my apartment. But it wasn't the same once money left, right? So crazy. One day, my good friend, he's an artist, one of the best artists. He's a rapper, DJ, artist, all of the above. He was coming over to my apartment. So I was meeting up with him and driving to show him where the apartment was, because he wanted to check out some artwork or something I was working on. We were supposed to work on. So he was coming by the house. So what's so crazy, my cousin, and at that time, me and my cousin had our own YouTube channel together. Being Blind Stops Nothing. He's fully blind, and I used to record him cooking blind and stuff like that. And I was talking about the challenges of being legally blind. So it's basically like like with disabilities. Just because I have a disability don't mean I don't have no ability. And we were doing good on that channel. That channel was doing. We need to check on it. That channel could have took off if we ain't over there. But so I would be in the neighborhood a lot. So my cousin lived on like this corner. So you come in the neighborhood. My cousin lived on this corner, and then you turn the corner and go that way, and that's my apartment down there. But many times I would not be at my apartment that much. I'd either be at his apartment or I'd be back to my dad's house or whatever like that with my family. So this day, me and my cousin, we pass the curve. We're coming up to the stop sign right here, where my cousin's house over here, and then you turn to go to my house. So we at the stop sign, and my friend is following behind me so he can find out where I live. And I hear pow, 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 pow. Like, the jail is that? Okay, we kept driving, and we pull up to my apartment, and I'm like, did you hear G-shots? And he was like, I don't know. My music was too loud. I don't know. We go up to the apartment. He checked out whatever we were checking out. I forgot. We were working on something. It was some project we were working on together. Came up there, but it wasn't that long. It was like maybe a good 10 minutes or something. So we come back out, and we come back up to that corner. Really? Hold on. We come back up to that corner, and there's police everywhere, and they taping off the area. I'm like, the jail happened here. Like, it literally was G-shots that we heard. And where they had it taped off was right where I was cutting that curve, when we turned past that curve. So literally they were having a shoot out, like right in that intersection where we had literally just passed it. So our cars had turned, and then it was pow, 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 pow. We missed it by that much. Then there was a second time when in the same neighborhood, and this neighborhood got so bad, and then that's when they started trying to close the gate, because I think somebody got deleted over there, like when that happened, but they don't really tell you like that. But so they start getting real strict on the security, which they should have already been doing, but they weren't. That neighborhood was crazy off the chain, and we thought we were moving on up like the Jeffersons, girl. So the second time, I'm at my cousin's house that is right there, and he wasn't there. I don't even know what the jail I was over there for, because this is a couple years ago. I can't even remember. But it was his friend that was living with him, her son, and then it was another little boy that was over there. And what was it? His friend's son. They were both over there. So y'all, everybody know I love kids, like for real. But that day, the girl, she kept saying, hey, like, can you watch the boys while I run out? And I'm like, in my mind, I was like, I don't want to. Like, I literally just don't want to. And I don't know why I wasn't feeling it that day. Like, I wanted to do something else. I really can't even remember what I wanted to do. But, people know that if they just ask me 2 or 3 more times, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I guess so. Oh, I think my laptop or something, my devices weren't working. I think that's why I wanted to get the gel up out of there, because I wanted to be on my computer and stuff. It was something wrong where I didn't want to really be over there at that moment. But it was God, honestly. So she was like, come on, just watch it for a little bit. I'll be right back. But she never left. She didn't leave. She got on the phone and she was like, hey, girl, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you just asked me to watch these little kids. Like, is you going to go on and come back? Like, how long you want me to watch? I'm like, for real. So she's like, I don't know what she was waiting on, but she didn't just leave. Because if she had just left, I would have watched the kids. But it was like a good 30-some minutes and she still hadn't left. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, I don't even want to watch the kids like that. I just want to go home. I had this urgency that I wanted to get out of there. Girl, I left. And my cousin, he also he was at dialysis. He was coming back from dialysis. So he literally lost his kidney function and his vision at the same, like in the same WAP. So he was coming from dialysis and they were dropping him off. He just made it to his front door. So he is blind. So when the van thing would drop him off, like I told you, how God takes care of not only just myself, but my family too. The van just dropped him off. It's like the little disabled van where you call them, they come pick you up. It had just dropped him off and he goes down the hall. He's blind, but he makes his way down the hall to his front door. He gets in and that's when he was calling me and telling me about how they had a second powing. So I literally got out of because it's something that made me not really want to stay. So I had got out, went on, got in my car and went on. I could have been coming out at that time, or the girl could have went and came back and then I would be leaving at that time. But within that small little window, I left, got the gel up out of there. And then my cousin was coming in, got in the house, and then that's when it was a pow pow. Another drive BY. And we just missed it like that. He was like, oh my gosh, I just got in the door. Like I literally could have been in that crossfire. So yeah, and it was so hard to move out that neighborhood because at that time it ended up being waiting lists were so long. It was so hard to find something. And then I had to battle with that apartment complex. That battle when they said I owed them $5,000 some dollars. I'm like, y'all property ain't even all of that to be doing this to me. They not only took my deposit, but they chalked up and padded all these charges that claimed that I owed, which it kind of helped me up with getting another apartment. Like they were messing up my rental history behind all of this. And I'm like, I got to get the gel from over here. Like literally, I was almost piled twice just being in the neighborhood. But yeah, God just got us through like that. Like if we were any faster about getting there or slower about getting out of there, we would be right in the crossfire. Like for real. Like a lot of times these apartments are very unsafe. They're very I used to all the time, oh, I want my own apartment, girl. Sometimes it is very challenging living on your own. Like, and when your husband, for my prison wives, with your husband's gone, it's kind of, you become that only protection. It's not the secondary layer of protection. That first layer of protection, your husband, and then yourself, and then the kids. It's you. All of it's on you. So that was hard. Like, raising my daughter and not having that protection of a male in the house. And I know you don't always have to, not every female has to have a male, but I felt so unsecure not having my husband in the house with me and my child. But yeah, that's the story time of just missing Drive Be Wise, but that much. So God kept me. All right, guys. It's your girl Cadillac.